You guys can follow me on Instagram and Telegram and other social media also. Link will be in the description, guys. Do follow for more and recent updates on my YouTube channel.
So hello everyone, my name is Pritam Paul and welcome to my YouTube channel. So here in this video, I am having my friend Rajnandini Das with me, and recently she got the PhD admission at IIT Madras in Design Engineering Department. Let's welcome her. Welcome Rajnandini. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for giving me the time for the video. I'm really very honored. So please introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Preetam for having me around and also for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with you all. I think it would be helpful for people who are who wants to do PhD in IIT. Maybe I mean it will be helpful. So my name is Rajnandini Das, and I belong to Agartala, Tripura. I did my BTech in civil engineering in NIT Agartala, and then I did my master's in IIST Shibpur in applied mechanics department. And this year I got admission in PhD in IIT Madras in engineering design department.
Sound that from NIT Agartala to IIT Madras, it must be a very interesting journey. So let's start from the beginning. Means before talking about the interview experiences, let's talk about your profile so that people could understand about the whole thing. So let's start from the beginning. So from where you started your schoolings, and after that, what the your BTech journey? Please tell us about that.
Okay, so I did my schooling in Netaji Subhash Vidya Niketan. The school is in Agartala, Tripura, in my place only. And
Yeah.
then and I got like my 10th standard marks was 81% and my 12th standard was 72%. And
Okay.
then I got admission in NIT Agartala for in civil engineering. So when I got admission in NIT Agartala, I wasn't like no one will be like knowing like what they want to do in future. So same thing happened with me. So I wasn't sure about like whether I want to go after doing like after graduation I want to go for job or whether I want to go for higher study. But after like when I was in third year, I don't know what happened, but I got interest in research work. I thought like I decided that time that I would go for higher study only. So I like but so and also when I was in third year, no, in my second year, I did one training in total station and GIS because as I'm from civil engineering background. And
Okay.
also when I was in fourth year, for my project, I did in in environmental engineering, like the topic was in environmental engineering that was related to plastic waste management in Tripura. So, but this domain, this research work is completely like completely separate, completely different from what I'm doing right now. Like my work and what I did in MTech project, that is completely different. So that time I had no idea like what would I do in future, like my what would be my research area and topic. So I did what I got, I did. So that was also interesting, but okay, then I prepared for GATE. I did not take any coaching, and there is no gap in my in career. Like after 12th, I got into NIT Agartala, and then in IIT, and then PhD. So I didn't get time like for coaching or for taking any any tuition for GATE or something. So I prepared by myself. So it was, my score was 419 and it was, among my rank was around 10,000 among 150,000 students. And my BTech percentage was 80%. And so I got admission in MTech in IST Shibpur. So I got into applied mechanics department. So in applied mechanics also there is two departments, solid mechanics and fluid mechanics. So I got into solid mechanics and I did my project in biomechanics. That is a part of solid mechanics. So let me tell you, solid mechanics is a branch, like is an interdisciplinary branch for civil engineering people as well as for mechanical engineering people. So did my project in biomechanics, and I got so interested, like I got so much interest in biomechanics, and so because of that, while applying for PhD, I was quite sure that I'll be doing my research work, like I'll be carrying out my research work in biomechanics only. So even I did not, while applying for PhD, I did not apply in civil engineering department also. I just applied for biomechanics, I applied for engineering design department in IIT Madras, which is biomechanics as a research area. So same, I applied for 5 colleges, something like that.
So, in your final year of your MTech courses, please tell us about your project, because we all know that project in your MTech MTech final year project is very much relevant to your PhD. So, it is really have a very good weightage while applying your PhD. So, please tell us about that, means in which domain and what you have done in your project in MTech.
Okay, let me tell you, if your project, MTech project, is not completely related to your PhD research work also, I mean, that is also fine. But your project, MTech project must have to be very good. Otherwise, that carries a lot of weightage in getting into IIT. So, so my project, so it should be like you should select your project in such a way so that that topic should be very new, not very new, but at least new, which is dragging interest of researchers nowadays. Which should be like helpful for human resource and everything. So I mean, try to at least do some work in that area.
So after that, you applied for various IITs. So means, please tell us about the whole entire journey, your PhD application, and for where you have means in about the interview also at IIT Madras.
Okay. So generally the procedure will be like from every colleges it will be more or less same, but some differences will be there. For generally for most of the IITs it will be like first you have to apply mentioning about all your CV and all that. So your BTech and MTech, if you have done masters and BTech bachelor's both, then bachelor's and MTech percentage carries a lot of weightage. Your first, evaluation will be based on that. So your BTech and MTech percentage must have to be more than 75%. So in my case, it was my BTech was 80% and my MTech was 85%. So I got shortlisted. I applied for 5 IITs and I got shortlisted for all the 5 IITs. So it was the first step.
When you will be shortlisted, means in the case of the shortlisting, is there any factor of any gate score, or means the students who
No,
are having more than
yeah.
70, the students who are having
Okay.
more than the cutoff percentages, they do not need gate score, or means if you have less than means the cutoff percentage, you need gate score, or what is the thing actually? What is the part of the gate score here? Means I have seen
No,
that. Yeah.
yeah. For people think that gate code plays an important role in getting into PhD and for IIT, but if gate score, they do not even want to see your gate score for PhD. I mean, mostly because some of my friends with me who appeared for PhD interview, they had more gate score than me, but their BTech percentage was 60%, MTech was like that, so they didn't get even shortlisted for the first round. So from that, I can surely say that gate score doesn't matter a lot. I mean, it doesn't affect a lot,
Okay.
but your BTech and MTech percentage plays an important role. So yeah, first round will be that. Like based on that, you will be firstly shortlisted, and
Okay.
then written test will be done. But this time, due to lockdown, written test couldn't happen. So for us, we didn't give any written test. So for that, and after that written test, some IITs will ask you for SOP. SOP is statement of purpose. That
Yeah.
is, you have to, for us, as we didn't give any written test, so we had to after getting shortlisted in the first round, we had to send them the SOP. So SOP is statement of purpose. In that, in one page of PDF you have to mention why do you want to go for PhD. You have to mention your area of interest. You have to mention
This
some research
proposal.
proposal in which you can work, in which we can work in. You have to convince the professor who will be seeing your SOP. Like we can do this work. So you have to mention all these things in SOP. So that should be very specific. Like SOP is a very serious matter. So you have to write it properly. So
Yeah.
after SOP, if you get shortlisted in SOP, and after that, personal interview PI will be done. So for us, only written test couldn't happen. Other 3 rounds, like for first shortlisted, then I got into that SOP thing, and then personal interview for us it couldn't happen offline. So it was on through in online video conferencing. But same thing happened. Like 5 to 6 in one panel, 5 to 6 professors were there. They were asking questions. The same thing happened. So yeah, And let me tell you about the interview experiences. So two subjects will be same for every branch. Like for me, like in IIT Madras, I gave interview for engineering design department. So two subjects will be same for everyone. That is, one is mathematics. Mathematics will be same for every department, whether EC student or civil engineering or engineering design. It would be gate syllabus, like matrix, eigenvalues, but they won't ask you. They will not give you any numerical and ask you to solve. It would be completely theoretical. You should understand every fact, everything, behind any relation, behind any equation or anything. They may ask you anything related to. They want to see how much do you know about the thing, how much do you have the concept. They want to see that. So it would be like gate syllabus for every department, like matrix, eigenvalues, then Taylor expansion, then we have differential equation, all these things, Fourier series, all these things will be asked. So you have to prepare mathematics very well, and then comes to our project. So as I told you earlier, also your project should be a topic which which should drag interest of the professors who will be asking you questions. They should get interest about your project. They should know, like, if this project, this area is very new and a lot of work has been going on recently, which will be helpful for so many things. So your research area should be very strong. And if you are doing any research in software based, like it could be software or software based research or analytical or completely experimental. So in my case, it was completely software based. So I had to learn MCs. So if your research area is software based, then you have to know all the basics of software which you have used for your project. So for me, it was NC, SolidWorks, FE Bio, and Hypermesh. I have used all these softwares, and I'm pretty little bit, at least pretty good in all the software. So they asked me a lot of questions from software. And so if you are doing a project related to software based project, then you have to know the software. For me, for my project, I learned ANSYS, then SolidWorks, then FE Bio, then Hypermesh. So they asked me a lot of questions related to my project and all these softwares. So project carries a lot of weightage. They will ask you each and every single theoretical question, and you have to answer that. Like they ask you, for me, whoever has done, they will know. Like if you are doing any software-based work, so for me it was meshing, and like they asked me, why do you have taken this element length? Why did you do in this way? Like why did you take the value of 1 meter stress for stress calculation? They'll ask you questions like that. So you should know, like, why are you doing this? Why like you have to know that everything so about your project. So that is one part. They asked me almost 60% questions from my project, and the other was for mathematics. And then these two subjects, the same for every branch. Now let me come to the point. Now, whatever you have done in your masters, they'll be asking you questions from that subject. Like for my masters, I did coursework for almost 10 subjects. Now, no one can prepare 10 subjects in one day, and like we can prepare, but we cannot give exams of 10 subjects in one day. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to prepare. Yeah, you have to prepare at least 3 to 4 subjects from your domain, from your MTech from your MTech coursework. And that should be related to your project. Like your project will be related to some of the other subjects. So you have to take the subjects and you have to prepare for that. So for me, I took finite element analysis, which was the main subject for my project work. And then I took strength of material also, because as I was from civil engineering background, and then I did solid mechanics. I'm taking solid mechanics, so I did strength of material also. I prepared that, and also elasticity and plasticity. So I prepared these 3 subjects. So they started asking like questions from this subject. A lot of questions they have asked. You have to know the basics. They will not ask you any numerical value. They may ask you to write equations, like or they may ask you to derive equations. So you should know how to derive an equation. They may ask you, like, write down equation for this. So you'll write. Now they'll ask you derive this one. So you have to derive and you have to show them. So you should know all the theory of our subjects, whichever you have like interview. yeah, I think PhD interview was all about this.
And okay, after that, would you like to means give some tips to your juniors that in which way they should prepare for your for the PhD interview at your domain, especially at your domain?
Okay, for first you have to, okay, for me, my domain means if I'll be telling you some topics for from the subjects which I have prepared, but do not, this is not restricted to to the topics I'll be mentioning, because you have to read everything, each and every single details of the subject. So for a brief idea, just to get started with, I'll give you some brief, topic ideas about my subject. So it will be helpful for applied people who will be applying for applied mechanics as well as engineering design. So I have noted down. So let me tell you. From finite element analysis, which is the main subject, you have to read. Like they'll ask you, why did you do meshing? Why did you take this element size, specifically this element size and this element shape? Then you have to read shape function, thickness metrics of bar, beam, and truss. Then types of elements, linear and non-linear analysis. Then types of non-linearity, implicit, explicit, static, and dynamic finite element analysis. You should know the difference between all of them. Then difference between the like first order, second order elements. Then quasi-static FEM analysis. Then isoparametric and axisymmetric elements. Then Pascal triangle, Jacobian matrix, Gauss point, integration points, hourglassing, volumetric locking, Galerkin method, which is very important. Rayleigh-Ridge method is also important. Difference between Lagrangian and Eulerian elements and analysis. So these are the a few topics you can get started with, and then do not leave like I'll not prepare this. Don't do that, because they ask you from anywhere. You have no idea. So from elasticity and plasticity, initial which are very important, like initial notations, constitutive relations, equilibrium and compatibility equations, tensors, yield and failure criteria, Airy stress function, von Mises stress, Tresca, principal stress and strains, then isotropic and kinematic hardening, Bauschinger effects, everything. Like you can get started with this. Then from strength of material, this is you may also know if you are from civil engineering, and like people who are from civil engineering, mechanical engineering, this will be helpful for them also. So it will be stress, strain, plane stress and strain, transformation of stresses and Mohr circle, torsion, pressure vessels, stresses in beams, beam deflection, composite beams. So yeah, you can get started with this. I think, yeah.
Okay, and if you
Okay,
didn't,
and
as he said, okay, so if you didn't means able to note down all these things, don't worry. All the topics she has said, all the things will be in the description. I will be writing down there also. Don't worry. Okay, and yeah,
okay,
now
but please, guys, do not, do not prepare only these topics which I've mentioned. You should not get, restricted to these topics also, only. So you have to prepare everything which, which subject you'll be choosing. Like you have to prepare each and everything. Yeah.
she has said all the things by
And
her means after having some experiences. Okay, but it is not a fixed thing. Okay, you should prepare by your own also. She has recommended few things according to her experiences. Okay, so you can have some
yeah,
priority on that, but don't only prepare for all these things as he has as she has said. Okay, so yeah.
yeah. And also, I would like to give some tips, like how to prepare and what should you do and what you should not do. So, first you have to prepare, make notes and all these things for all these subjects. And then let me tell you, like whenever you are going for an interview, like if your professors are started asking you some topics and some subjects which you haven't prepared, but you just tell the professor directly that, sir, I haven't prepared for this subject. Can you please shift to some other subject?
That's a
They
very
don't play
important
foul,
point.
it will cut your marks. But yeah, if you say directly like I haven't prepared, that will not cut your marks. Because for me, same thing happened in IIT Guwahati interview. First, the professor, he started asking me from subject biomechanics, which I haven't prepared. He asked me continuously three questions. I said, no, I do not know the answer. Then
By
I
the way,
told him
she got
directly, sir, I
PhD
haven't
in
finished.
IIT Guwahati also, but she joined IIT
Yeah,
Madras. So that's why she is talking about IIT
yeah.
Guwahati interview experiences also. Okay, please carry on and yeah.
Like, yeah. So when he asked me, and then I told him directly that, sir, I didn't prepare for this subject. Then he said, it's okay, it's completely fine. We'll shift to some other subject. Then he started asking me from other subjects. So do not play foul. Like you do not try to answer which you do not know exactly. So don't do that. Then my point will be like if before the interview date, like you'll get some mail or something from the, like, for some IITs it happens, like you'll get mail regarding the interview date, interview venue, everything. And in that mail they may mention about the professor who will be there in the panel, interview panel. So it's better if you go to the profile, if you at least check once the profile of the professor, and if you see their area of research, because professors will be asking questions from their area of research as well. Like if they are strong in this subject, then they may ask you questions from this subject also. That is one thing. And another thing is, while visiting professor's profile, some professors, they mention in their profile, like, whoever wants to do PhD, you can mail me directly, you can talk to me, like something like that. Whoever, please drop a mail, like something happens. So you can personally approach the professor as well. It may also be helpful, and it always works. So if
That's
the professor mentions this, if the professor mentions this in their profile, so you must visit professor's profile. So if they mention this, you can mail the professor mentioning your SOP and CV and why do you want to do all these things. He may take your interview separately and you may get. If you can impress the professor, you'll get. So that is not nothing to do with the formal interview. So that is one thing. This always works. So go for it always. Like at least try to do this. And also, do not go for research work if you are not interested. Like always try to select the research topic in such a way so that, because that is not a joke, that is a thing of 5 or more than say 5 years. So you should not regret afterwards that I should have taken this subject, I should have taken other research areas. So think wisely and decide that you want to go for a PhD, and also you want to go for specifically this research area.
So thank you so much for your valuable tips and the recommendations for the students. And thank you once
Yeah.
again for joining me in this video. And I hope every viewer will be benefited by your interview experiences. So thank you so much. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you have any kind of doubt, let me know through comment below. And I think she might be available, as I know she is very busy right now with her
Yeah, sure.
school
I'll
work.
be no, but
So,
I'll be happy to help always. And also, Pritam, I'd like to tell that this is a great initiative, because while I was preparing for my PhD, I was searching for videos like this. I hope it would be like whatever I have given, information. It would be helpful for students. And
so
also, it was like a great initiative taken by you. So, congratulations to you, and also thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with you.
yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, this really means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you found this video useful, guys, share this video with your friends. And if you want more videos, so you can let me know through comments below.
So this is the ending part of the video, guys, and if you found this video useful, hit the like button and let me know through comments below there. And please subscribe the YouTube channel and press the bell icon so that every video could be reached to you through notification. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Telegram and other social media also. Links will be in the description, guys, so please do follow for regular updates on my channel. So this much for today, guys. See you on the next video.